And hello everybody, welcome to well, it's not a Druids Dozen. There will be no Druids Dozen this week. This is a kind of Druids Extra. Yeah, basically I normally do the Druids Dozens on a Saturday afternoon and put them out Saturday tea time. However, things have been thrown into chaos this week because I've got a gig. Yes, I've got to go to Bridgewater tomorrow with Alien Slashtin and perform at the Cobblestones. We're playing alongside Adam and the Hellcats, supporting Cyteria, which is Jackie Chambers from Girl School's side project. So really looking forward to that. The whole thing came on as a bit of a kind of surprise over the last couple of days because the band pulled out the bill and we got called in to replace them. So, and because the Druids Dozen takes a good few hours on a Saturday to do, and Friday, when I'm recording this, is when I'm normally setting up and finishing off the BCFM Sunday Rock Show preparations, I've had to kind of postpone the plan to Druids Dozen until next week. So what I'm doing a quick special. I've raided a box of singles that I've got, and I brought out some interesting objects. We're going to have a look at some shaped discs. Now, shaped discs, I've got one here. Well, I've got quite a few down here, but I'll bring out this one first. They were kind of, yeah, it was a marketing ploy record companies used back in the 1980s. Basically, you know, the way the old... there, have a look at this one first of all. It's a UFO this time. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But basically, record companies would release a single, and back in those, I don't know if it works now, but back in those days, it was every copy that was sold that was counted towards the charts. So, you know, they got this idea of let's release multiple formats. The original, you had the 7-inch and the 12-inch, and then you had you know, then you had the picture disc, the 12-inch picture disc, the double pack, and eventually you got the shaped picture disc, which was basically normally a 7-inch single pressed onto a 12-inch blank with a shaped thing in the middle, and then stamped out. Now, you know, and these were normally given away free to independent retailers. I used to get a lot of mine from a now sadly closed shop called Disc and Tape up on Gloucester Road in Bristol, and you know, the idea was to kind of boost sales through the independent shops that are on chart return that week. And yeah, it got a bit silly in places. I mean, some of the pop bands, I think it was Bros, brought out a single with something like 30 different formats, trying to encourage their fans to buy 30 different versions. However, you know, on the whole, you normally got, I think there was a Marillion one, had about 6 different versions came out. Sugar Mice single, I think it was. But overall, you know, it was a win-win situation because the fans of the band got interesting shaped collecting thingies, and you know, the independent retailers tended, because you didn't tend to find them in the big chains. It was normally the independents. The independent stores would get a boost in their sales that they didn't have to pay for, and the bands got extra sales, which boosted their chart profile. So yeah, I just grabbed a handful. I think I've got about 9 or 10 that I dragged out. I've got a few more of these, but these were just a handful that I grabbed this morning. Going to start with this one. This is UFO. It's this time lifted from the Misdemeanor album, 1985. The original single was from. B-side is The Chase, which is a non-album track, and it's not bad. UFO's kind of yeah, see how they did with the Japanese guitarist Tommy Masuto on the guitar. It's not a bad track, and yeah. So there we are. Here's a nice picture disc. You got a shaped picture disc. It's kind of got a little pointy thing round the clear vinyl 7-inch, and then on the back there you got a kind of tattoo type cowgirl with waving guns around. Ties in with the whole kind of misdemeanor imagery that are going on. Right, put that back in its little house. Next up we'll have this one, a bit of kind of prog rock. This is It Bites, and Still Too Young to Remember. Nice little picture disc, little kind of triangular thing. It Bites logo on it, and sadly though, Still Too Young to Remember is probably the worst song that It Bites ever recorded. Terrible kind of pop song. Not really in keeping. Okay, I know It Bites had a kind of poppy vibe to them, but it's not really typical of their stuff. Probably it's pretty throwaway true. However, the B-side, if I flip it over that side, is a song called Vampires, which is really quite sweet. Yeah. So yeah, there we go. It Bites, Still Too Young to Remember. Put them away. Now this is a rarer one, and probably one of the most collectible ones I'm showing today. Here we go. This is the In the Queue EP by Sledgehammer. Again, 1984 this came out. Sledgehammer, London new wave of British heavy metalers, really cult underground band. Had a load of good stuff out, and this is a cracking EP. I do possess this on 12-inch as well, because I'll be honest with you, the vinyl that these are pressed on, you know, there's the front, the back's the similar. Two cracking tracks on the back side. Oxford City and 1984. I think 84 would be my favourite Sledgehammer song. Yeah, the vinyl that these things are pressed on, it doesn't tend to be quite so tough as your standard black or even your coloured vinyl. So they tend to wear out fairly quick, and you got you know, and the sound quality may not be quite as good, but you know, but like I said, these are primarily sold as collector's items rather than stuff to play. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, anyway, this one's quite valuable. They're all kind of if you get, it's a good way of getting into kind of record collecting and trading, really, I suppose, these shaped discs. You know, I didn't pay more than about £1 for any of them, and you know, average prices these days, looking at just before I came on and started recording, I looked up some price listings, and you know, some of these change hands for £30–40 a shot. Not silly money, but you know, the sort of thing that kind of I look at my mum when my mum used to accuse me of living at home, or you know, back in the 70s and early 80s, of wasting your money on records, and now I can turn around and say, well, it's 30 times its original value in it now. So yeah, anyway, the next one, again, not this band's greatest track. This is Dreams by Van Halen. Nice little kind of, not actually a racing car, I think it's one of the World Land Speed Record attempt cars from the 1980s, 1950s, sorry. But anyway, there's the front, there's the back. Like a B-side is inside. Both tracks lifted from the Van Halen's 5150 album, first of the Sammy Hagar era records. I'll say, Dreams is okay. Inside's a bit of a disposable track, but yeah, but like I said, nice little racing car shaped or world record attempt car shaped disc. Yeah. Okay, next up we'll have this one. Here we go. Judas Priest, A Touch of Evil, on a tour pass shaped disc. This one's been discoloured somehow. I don't know. That's maybe I left it in the sunlight or something. I'm not sure. It's got a bit of discoloration on this one. Shame. Not a couple of quid for the value, but yeah. But anyway, there's the front. There's the back. Flip side to this is Between the Hammer and the Anvil. Two cracking songs from the Painkiller album. Yeah, one of my favourite Priest albums is Painkiller. And yeah, tour pass tour bus shaped tour pass shaped disc. Nice square one. If you look carefully, you can see if you can see it on the camera there, but you can see where the record's actually around in there. Again, 7-inch. Most of these are 7-inch singles. There's one, the actual disc size is 7-inch. There's one interesting exception, which I'll come to in a bit. Next up, we got this one. Here we go. Again, probably one of the worst songs this band ever recorded, even though I love Cheap Trick. The Flame, disposable, sappy power ballad from the period where they really weren't at their best, and banging out hits for MTV. Shame, because Cheap Trick were, and fortunately they've gone back to their old ways. They are a good band, but yeah. Anyway, this is The Flame, and a kind of melting, burning record-shaped disc. I flip that over. There's the B-side, which if you actually hold that up, you could almost pass for a standard 7-inch. Yeah, Through the Night, the B-side. Not a track I'm that familiar with. Although it says they're both from the Lap of Luxury album. So, yeah, Lap of Luxury is not a particularly good record in my opinion. But anyway, interesting shape disc though, Cheap Trick, The Flame. Next up we'll have something, this isn't a picture disc, this is a just a shaped disc. I'll show you the sleeve of this one, because this one's actually got a sleeve rather than just a plain plastic bag. There's the front. This is Gimmicks by John Cooper Clarke. I'll do like a bit of John Cooper Clarke. There's the front. Disguising Love on the B-side. Oh no, sorry. I Married a Monster from Outer Space on the B-side. Disguising Love's the album they're off. And it's here. This is a kind of triangular gimmick, you know. Quite a funny guy, if not as actually subtle as Mr. Clarke. Yeah, orange vinyl, triangular shaped thing. Not hideously collectible. This one's, you can get copies of this on eBay for about 15 quid now. Yeah. Yeah, there's the flip side there. Gimmicks is a pretty good track. I Married a Monster from Outer Space is probably slightly better, in my opinion, but you know, like I said, it's John Cooper Clarke. And this one, because it's primarily just a coloured vinyl as opposed to the softer vinyl of the picture discs, this is actually playable. And it's in pretty good nick. Yeah, John Cooper Clarke, Gimmicks, the orange vinyl triangular shaped disc. I've got quite a few more of these. I've only grabbed a handful today, but other highlights I've got include a Gary Moore plectrum shaped one and a Slayer crucifix shaped one. But they're in a separate box, and I only raided one box today to get these out. Okay, these next two, or the final two, are from, well, originally lifted from the same album. The album being Jethro Tull's Crest of a Knave. And we'll have this one first of all. This is the Steel Monkey shaped disc. You see the front, it's got the crest of the knave on the front. And flip it round, there's the B-side. And the monkeys there doing the, you know, the three wise monkeys with the extra monkey at the end. Was the 7-inch, I've got the 7-inch of this somewhere. That was the 7-inch album single cover and the 12-inch. But banged on the backside for the picture disc. And then, yeah, the B-side of this is a track called Down at the End of Your Road, which is a non-album release, but is again on the 7-inch and 12-inch standard issue of the single. So, yeah, Steel Monkey, one of the better. Yeah, Crest of a Knave is a pretty good album, and Steel Monkey's A belting little track. And it brings us to the last one today, and the most unusual. More Jethro Tull, another track, another song from the Crest of a Knave album, and it's this one. She said she was a dancer. Now, the interesting thing about this is, if you look carefully, you can see the actual disc itself is a 5-inch disc, and this is the only thing I've ever got on a 5-inch disc. Now, I know there were some promo 5-inch singles brought out and that, but it's, you know, quite odd, quite unusual. Sadly, as far as like the gimmick of the 5-inch disc goes, it means that rather than having that much to master your, you know, sort of that much to master your sound onto, you're left with about an inch, because by the time you get your standard 7-inch, you know, disc center on there, there's not a great room for mastering, which means is that the sound on this one is even more muffled and iffy than it is in a standard picture disc or shape disc. But like I said, you don't collect these for playing, you collect these for the collecting and saying, yeah, I've got the rare limited edition 5-inch picture shape cut picture disc of Jethro Tull. She said she was a dancer. B-side track on this one is a cracking little track called Dogs in the Midwinter. I'll say the other side. Dogs in the Midwinter, which is a superb little number. Again, an outtake from the Crest of a Knave album, although if you do get the CD version, the modern repressed version, both the B-sides of both of these singles are on there as bonus tracks. Yeah, cute little thing, isn't he? Like I said, can't play him, but there again, like I said, I've got the standard 7-inch. I don't think I've got the 12-inch of this one. I've got the standard 7-inch of this. So, yeah, that's that. Anyway, I said I've got a fair few others of these, and maybe next time I'll have to do a quick emergency. I'll drag out a few more, because I say I've got a Gary Moore plectrum shaped one around somewhere amongst others, so which is quite interesting. So hope you enjoyed our little brief kind of Druids extra. The dozen will return next week. Cues for my radio shows are going to be down there on YouTube. They're going to be over, I think, that side on Facebook. I may be wrong. No, that side on Facebook. You know, I don't know. I've got my camera set up in a different position today, so I'm a bit confuddled. But yeah, if you like what you hear, leave a like, leave a share, give us any comments. Do you know any interesting shape picture discs that's in your collection that you should, you know, think I should have a look out for? And you know, as I said, do you collect? Because like I said, they're an interesting way of kind of, you know, record collecting can be quite pricey. I mean, the other week I showed you a Ramesses album that, you know, mint copies of which go for about 500 quid. It's going to be on the, you know, you need silly money to collect that kind of stuff. But, you know, trading in picture discs though, and shape discs, an interesting quirky way into kind of investing in some vinyl and you know, having fun. So until next week, peeps, when I'll be back with a normal Druids Dozen, be good to yourself, and I'm out of here. Bye.